People, welcome to the live, South Paths Live. Once again, Asley is unable to join us, and I do know why. This week is because Asley needs a verified YouTube channel to go live with me, and I don't think her channel is verified yet. So, we'll have to get that fixed, and then she can go live. I'll be over here, and she'll be over there. So welcome to South Paths Live. Welcome to Calgary, Alberta, Canada. Sorry, we're not in the Phils right now. Working. Good morning from Virginia. Hello, Karma Buddy. Hello, Jamie. Hello. Welcome, everybody. Asley should be along shortly in the comments. She's going to join us there. And I don't know what we're going to talk about. I guess we can chat about Asley. Hello, Asley. She's here now. Hello, baby. She is only in the comments, fellows, because unfortunately, like I said earlier, she's unable to join live because I don't think her channel is verified with YouTube yet, so they won't allow it. I sent her a link. I did all the things. She clicked on the link, and then nothing happened. So, hello, Manuel. Good morning. Hello, Surrey Case. Good evening to you out there in the Vancouver coast. How's everybody today? It's Friday. No, it's Saturday for you. It's Friday for me because I had to work today. Yes. Asley, I wonder, there's not a lot to actually talk about, so this is going to be a short live, and I'm not feeling too well. You can tell by my near constant cough and my sniffling that I have a lovely little head cold or something going on, but not great. But how is everybody else? Are you all healthier than me, I hope? No, she's not using a VPN. It's just that because her channel isn't verified with YouTube servers, she has a YouTube channel, but it hasn't been verified yet. And I don't know. I think you have to be monetized to be verified. I don't know. I'll have to find out. But hopefully next week we can get this fixed up. But that's what I've found out so far. You think they could explain that when the link fails, what's going on? Oh yeah, babe, I'll be taking a lot of vitamin C. Don't worry about that. What's new? Not a lot. Everything is the same as last week where I am. Asley has been poking around and we're discussing maybe financing some land where we are now. And she's also been exploring some options and getting, joining with some friends to find out how to go about investing in property and whatnot in the Philippines and how to do it right. And then they went on and they looked at a couple of parcels and stuff like that. So she's been busy doing that, boning up on what she needs to know at her end about the legalities of it and everything. I'm working like crazy, working like the dog. Today I did a 6-day week this week. I'll be doing a 6-day week next week. I'll be doing a 6-day week every week for the next 6 months, I suspect. 10-hour, 12-hour days. And I'm getting too old to work 12 hours a day, 6 days a week, you guys. I mean, look at this. This is 63 years of looking at you. I'm an old man. So anyway, 12-hour days. So how are things with everybody? Like, I got a lot of guys at stateside. How are things down there? How are you guys feeling about what's going on over in the Middle East? What's it doing to your costs, your food costs and your gasoline and stuff? I know up here in Alberta, gasoline is up to, geez, $1.80 $1.80 a liter on the way to Vancouver and Cebu. Oh no, don't do that, man. Stay where you are. Asley, she was at a seminar about income generating properties. Yes. Sorry, Surrey Case. I wish I was in Cebu, pal. Like, soak it up for me. Soak it up for me, buddy. $1.72 is, or $1.80 a liter, which would be around 20% more American. So $1.80 a liter would be another 36 cents American. So $2.16 a liter times almost 4. So you're talking gasoline is $7.50 a gallon here, US. $7.50 US a gallon. I don't know. I mean, we ship 95% or 90% of the oil, our oil, to Oklahoma and to Texas through the pipelines going south. I wouldn't mind seeing us have our own refineries up here. We have small refineries, like nothing like Texas. No, we have tiny ones. And they can only produce enough oil for we have some down in Toronto or Ontario, I think. Ontario? I think we have a large one down there, owned by a very wealthy family, no doubt about that. And they produce enough for the greater Ontario area and southern Ontario. That's about how many people are in the GTA now. What is it, like 14 million total down there? Something like that. Let me know if you know the number. But other than that, that's the only major refinery in Canada. Vancouver has refineries. Yeah, for just for the town though, they don't have capacity outside of Vancouver, I don't think. What is Vancouver now? How many people are there, Surrey? Surrey Case should know how many people live in Vancouver. How many bazillion? I think there's like 10 bazillion people in Vancouver, something like that. Times are tough. I saw a guy taking out a personal loan to buy a blade steak the other day. One blade steak, 36 individual payments of $1.09 a month. 4 million? Whoa! Yeah, that's a lot of gasoline, man. That refinery must be just cooking. I know around Batangas in the Philippines, they have a lot of refineries along the shoreline there and stuff like that. So I wish we could have Asley on here because I know you guys prefer to look at her, than this ugly mug. Hey. But, it is what it is. We could get Asley to go live, but she needs to have, I think she needs to have, what is it? Well, I think she can go live with like 50 subscribers, but I don't think she's gone through the process to verify her channel. You have to give them your phone number, and then they have to text you a message, and then you have to respond to that to show that it's, da-da-da-da-da. They might look down, you won't get, oh no, don't say that. Don't say that. Top chat, okay. You won't get back to the Philippines. Don't say that. Don't say that hantavirus. If they're going to use the hantavirus as some kind of an excuse, that's ridiculous. 2 people in Calgary apparently got it, or 2 people from Calgary got it. So even if they were in Calgary, there's 1.8 million people in this city. 1.8 million. So if 2 people are running around, that means I've got a 1 in 900,000 chance of picking it up from them. So I'm not concerned. I wasn't concerned when we had the main virus. I mean, that nasty thing. I mean, I caught it. I had it twice. And it was like a bad flu, man, but that's it. I think more damage done from the shot than there ever was from from the bloody flu. Like it was amazing. They cannot come up with a cure for anything. But when we had the pandemic, man, and it started to affect business, boom, just like that, they had a cure in 90 days or something, was it? Amazing. Yeah. Asley has a new pet. If you've been on her channel, you've noticed she has a new pet. And you've probably seen it. Yeah, I did get the shot. I wish I had not. DJ Crypto. Yeah, I got the shot, and I got the stupid booster too. And I haven't felt any ill effects from it, but some people have. Like, excuse me, my brother Maury, he got the shot, and now he thinks he's got long COVID because of it. And there's no medical evidence corroborating his thoughts about it, but he believes it. And he swears up and down it's because of the shot. And I'm like, Mo, no, it's not because of the shot. It's because you're like me. You're freaking old. He's older than me. Maury is 66, 67 years old. And I told him, you're probably low on testosterone. That's all your problem is. That's why you're so tired and lethargic. You don't have any testosterone. Hello, lefty all around. And, you know, if you would just try the shot, get the shot, I told him, just go to the doctors and set up a 90-day trial. And if it doesn't work, well, then no harm, no foul. It won't affect you in any way. But no, he'd rather feel sorry for himself, I think. So that's what he's doing. What else? What else is going on? I got a raise at work while I was away in the Philippines. It gave me a raise. Woohoo! 50 cents an hour. It's better than a kick in the ass. I get my testosterone blood work. I don't actually do the blood work anymore, but I do a yearly physical, and I have them do a PSA on me, but that's it. My numbers for my bloodstream have been stable for like the last 67 years, so I just stopped checking it. I'm right around 600 to 750, depending on the shot. Sometimes if you have a slightly heavier oil that carries the component when you inject, if you have a slightly heavier oil, it takes longer for the body to absorb it. And then you have a resulting higher number. Sometimes if the oil is slightly thinner, you have a lower number because it's already been used up. But that's about that. Hello, Tita Marie. Hello, Mita Furman, Tita Marie. Oh. But yeah, if you guys are like, if you're feeling like tired, if you're diabetic, if you're just feeling sacked out all the time, you really should get your numbers checked. Honest to God, I mean, I started taking testosterone shots. It's not expensive. It's not. It's much cheaper than insulin, I can tell you that. And it will control diabetic problems to a degree. In almost every case, a person who is diabetic 2 took the shots, and they did a study, and these 100 guys got the shots. Well, 50 of them did, and 50 of them were getting, sugar pills. And in every case where they were administered testosterone to bring their numbers back up to where it would be for a healthy male, in every single case, there was a remission in the diabetic problems that they were having, and in some cases, cured. So don't let them tell you need insulin till you die, because what they don't tell you is after about 5 or 10 years, after 5 or 10 years of taking all that insulin, it starts to eat you from the inside, and you have other medical issues because of the high insulin content in your blood. So, yeah, it's not a best solution, insulin. It's not. Modern day, how are you, sir? Get your butt back here. We need to have coffee and talk. I want to talk to you, man. Modern Day Drifter's a close friend. He is a subscriber, and him and his fiancee, Marcel, decided they would like to meet us. And so they met us, and really a nice couple, and we've been hanging out quite a bit. But he is like me now. He's in Alberta working and sending money home. Heading to Red Deer tomorrow. Well, that's interesting because tomorrow I'm heading up to Rimbey. So I'll have to try and run into you tomorrow before I leave number 2 highway. Get in touch with me after the live is over there, Modern Day Drifter, and we'll try to organize a meet somewhere for coffee on the way up, maybe around Gasoline Alley or something. I don't know the route you're taking. From Calgary, or are you cutting across from another job, Help Asley? Yeah, I am. Oh, by the way, Help Asley people, click the like button right now. If you're there, just go like, ding, that's all you got to do. Thank you. And then the channel goes out to more and more people, and we get more and more subs, and we get more subs, we get more revenue from views, and this will go towards Asley's little house, her little property, as you know, we're doing that, and we're going to get that going. So please don't forget to click that like button. So I need to know, guys, how are you doing? Brooks, then Stettler, and then over to Red Deer. Well, I can meet you sometime tomorrow. I mean, if it's not too late, because I got to get to Mother's for like lunchtime or earlier, 10 a.m. I gotta be in Rimbey about 10 a.m. It's Mother's Day. I got to see her. I have to be there for lunch at 11:30, noon maybe. So yeah, that's my oldie holdup, bud. But I'll try and do something about it. So anyway, how are you guys? What's going on? Like, somebody tell me what's happening in your lives. Are you doing good? Everything good? You thinking about running away to the Phils? Going to cash out? Personally, coming back to Canada this Thursday, so excited. It's warm. It's warm, Tita. I'm telling you, it's 23, 24 out there every day for the next 10 days. I don't know where you live in Canada, but I mean, it's nice and warm in Calgary. It's been very nice here. And I guess if you go down east, it's a little cooler. We're getting a little downflow from the north still, but it's not bad. Nothing like winter, not like that. And of course, it's lovely in Vancouver on the coast at this time of the year if the rain's not coming down. In Quebec, oh, still cool in Quebec. Well, that won't last long. 2 more weeks, and you know, it'll start happening there. I know that because you're up on that Canadian Shield, all that rock, it tends to stay cooler there longer in the spring. I was talking to a guy at work today, and he was asking me all kinds of questions about the Philippines, and he's single, and he's about 55. And, you know, he's got a house and it's paid for, and he's got a car and all of that. And he was asking about retiring in the Philippines. And I told him, you need to come and, you know, you need to come and spend 2 or 3 weeks there just to see if you even like the place. Because let's face it, Canada is okay for some people and other people would hate it here. And the same thing goes for the Philippines or for Russia or for India or South America, wherever you want to pick. No place is the right place for everybody. So I told him to come and visit, and we'd show him around. Roxas City, hello. Roxas City, well, there, I lost the messages again. Bloody sorry, folks. Vacation again, we avoid the winters. Yeah, I avoid the winters too. Hello for Roxas City. Is that Roxas City? Is that up in Luzon, or is that Roxas City down in the Visayas? Mindoro? I see Lefty. Shh, I didn't take that vaccine. No, he didn't. Yeah, he was smart. To looking back, you know, if you trust these people, It used to be, you used to say never trust a person over 30, right? Panay Island. Okay, got it. Capos, Panay Island, Capiz. Asley would know these places better than I, that's for sure. Yeah, you never trust anybody over the age of 30. Remember when they said that? Now it's more like never trust a person over the wealth. It doesn't have more than $3 million or has more than $3 million in the bank. Don't trust the rich. They only exist to get more. And you know, they're like if you're somebody who has newspapers and you keep the newspapers, your crazy aunt or crazy uncle, and you pile them up in the house, and eventually the whole house is full of newspapers, and there's little aisles that you go down in a maze to get to the bedroom, the bathroom, the kitchen. This house full of newspapers. This is what the rich are like, except they hoard money. Not because they like money or anything, but they're hoarders, and their fixation is dinero. So they hoard dollars. So they have all this money. They don't do anything with it. They just can't, once they get it, they can't let it go. It's just, And you know, regular society is like the gear case, the transmission on a car or a truck. If you have enough oil in the transfer case, everything runs smoothly, right? And it takes care of itself and it's no problem. But when you run the oil level lower and lower and lower, things get bad. Bearings start to overheat. Gear face where they mesh together smoothly before no longer do, because now they're running dry, that kind of thing. And this is what regular society is like. And that money that they sit on should be rotating through the economy so that we all grow. They're not doing it, you know, but they have no problem charging $70,000 for a pickup truck. You know, who's the very cheapest Dodge truck, Ram, that I could find in Canada, tradesman, stripped with no options, was $49,000, you know, before any give back at the dealer. So it would be maybe $44,995 with a $4,000 or $5,000, you know, kiss to get you to sign. So not much else is going on. Asley has a new pet. You see it on her channel. It's about this big. It is a baby praying mantis. Little green miniature praying mantis. And she's been going outside, and this little praying mantis is hanging onto her her little tree that she's growing. What's it called? What is that tree called, Asley? Mulberry. Her mulberry tree, mulberry bush. And it lives in a mulberry bush. And the wind's blowing the leaves around, and this little tiny thing is hanging on like this. So Asley has pretty much adopted this thing. She made an aquarium. She was thinking about bringing it in, keeping it in the aquarium to protect it. But I said, well, what's it going to eat if it's in the aquarium? You know, it needs to be outside so it can hunt, you know. And she's like, yeah, I guess so. So maybe when it gets bigger and we can feed it crickets, put crickets in there. But right now, this thing is half the size of a cricket. It's like an inch. That's it. You see on her, if you go to her channel and check out her YouTube, you'll see the videos she has of it. It's a little tiny green, bright green thing. What else is going on? Not much. Not much, you guys. I mean, I shouldn't have had a live because there's really nothing going on to tell you about. I guess the volcano we visited in YouTube with the Starbucks, that video. Well, Taal volcano had a couple of burps last week, and people were kind of concerned that maybe it was going to go off like the one down south has. The one down south is called, what's it called? Asley, help me out. Mayon. The Mayon volcano down south. Mayon is 380 kilometers away, but it's It's far enough away that it's not a danger, but there could be, if the winds are right, we could get a little ash from it or something. But Taal is not far away. It's like 30 or 40 kilometers, I guess. Is it, Asley? 30 or 40 kilometers away from Taal to our house. So not far. If it goes off, we'll definitely hear it. And we'll see something going up in the air in the way of smoke. You got married at the Starbucks, bud? I mean, we were there. Taigate, yeah, we were there. Well, there's two of them. We were at one. There's another one on the cliff there. Alberta thing. Oh, yeah. They're talking about separation in Alberta here. The problem is we send billions and billions of dollars to Ottawa, and then they take it in and they give it to Quebec, Manitoba, the eastern provinces and stuff like that, because some of them are a have-not province. Now, I don't know how you can call, well, 80% of the money goes to Quebec. 80% of every dollar we send to Ottawa from oil revenues, royalties to the government, goes to Quebec. And it's like, how can Quebec be a have-not province after this many years, that much money going into it? It's not a have-not province. It's Canada's own little version of Israel. You know, we have to keep protecting them and feeding them and paying them, and oh my goodness. 457 kilometers away. Oh, okay, it's even farther than I thought. So safely far away to Mayon. So anyway, because we're sending that much money out and it's being used in a bad way as far as most everybody is concerned, like Quebec gets by far the lion's share of that, and they don't really need it. They don't. Manitoba could use it more. Saskatchewan during bad years could certainly use it because, you know, they're one-trick ponies. They don't have any lot of other options. They don't have ports. They can't ship coal offshore. They can't, they don't have lumber industry, obviously. They don't have mining. They don't have any of these things that BC has. And yet they get all that money. Or they don't get any money. Sorry, Quebec gets it all. So, yeah. They're voting to separate Surrey. They're voting to separate from Canada. And I think it's a fake. It's a feint. Fake to complete. Feint to complete, they call it. Feint to complete. It is a fake. It's not going to happen. And the reason it won't happen is because there's too many homeowners in Alberta who will vote no, because do you want your home value to drop 50% overnight? I didn't think you would. It'll be a vote between homeowners here who have a lot to lose if things go badly and their home values evaporate before their eyes. Because let's face it, a lot of us have a house, so we have a nice retirement. We sell the house and we have some money. That's our retirement nest egg, right? If something happens to that nest egg that you worked all your life for, well, nobody's going to vote yes and risk losing that. But the people who don't have properties and don't have anything going on, you've been faced by the praying mantis. I know, she loves the praying mantis. She's probably going to start making it porridge in the morning. There'll be Asley on one side and the praying mantis on the other. Good morning. Anyway, yeah. Nobody's going to vote yes, except for the people who have nothing to lose. So about 35% will vote yes, 65 to 70% will vote against it. It'll be a done thing. It won't happen again for quite a long time. And everybody's making a big about it, you know. And Carney is saying he'll send in the armed forces if he needs to make it stop, to stop it. It's getting dirty really fast because certain people are getting a little nervous that the vote might go through. And they're wrong, I'm sure of that. But they're concerned. And not just people who own homes. I'm talking about wealthy people who have plans for the destruction of this country and buying it up for dimes on the dollar when they're done breaking it up. Let's see, do you think time passes away faster than it did in the 90s and early 2000s? Just seems time is speeding up. Yeah, DJ Crypto, they say that's a thing. As you get older, time moves faster because you have fewer years left than you spent, right? You have this much left and you have that much you've lived and you only have this much left. So when you have a mindset about, oh, I only have this much time left, of course, the time is more valuable to you, but it seems like it just flies by. Especially if you're busy doing things that put you on autopilot, like working and paying for the car and paying for the house and watering the lawn and Netflix and you just rinse and repeat every day and you're in your 50s, before you know it, you're in your 60s. Ba-boom. And then you kind of go, wait a minute, what happened? And that's pretty much what happened to me. I had a wake-up call after my divorce, and that's how I ended up where I am now and doing what I am doing now and living where I am living now. And I love living in the Philippines, man. I wish I could be there, but gotta work, make some money. Have any of you guys considered going to the Philippines lately or thought about going to visit? Considered it for a retirement? Yes, it does, Mita. It does. If you go to the Philippines to retire, or almost anywhere else, your dollar goes much further than it goes in Canada, of course. Because Canada is known to be hyper expensive for what you're getting for your money. It's just not a good bargain. But if you take your Canadian dollars and you go somewhere like, I don't know, if you went south to South America or Nicaragua or someplace down there, Mexico, Philippines, Thailand, Vietnam, name your tropical country. If you want to go to Peru, if you dig Peru, like to go hiking in the Andes, Peru and Argentina are the places for you. And it's inexpensive to live there. In retirement, you can live anywhere. There's no reason to stay in Canada. Why stay here? You've done it. It's been done. You've experienced it. It's done. Do something else. Run away. Pick a favorite place and get your ass over there. It won't be so beautiful now, modern day. All the stuff is poured down the side of the mountain, has killed all the foliage. Panama is cheap too, yeah. Any Central American country, as long as they're not a little unstable, that may be a good reason to avoid that particular country if there's a problem. Belize is the one I was thinking about, but I ended up going to the Philippines. But a second place idea was going to Belize because it's a very laid back, trippy kind of place. Everybody speaks a broken kind of English. And I know Belize in the 80s and 90s was nice, Manuel. Now it's not good. It's expensive now, yeah. And there's a crime rate there now. It's not the place it was in the 1980s and the 90s. The Philippines has no crime rate whatsoever compared to Belize. And it's much cheaper. Yes, I know, Asley. Ha, 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 ha. Do you want me to send it a hat? Do you want me to, do you want to give it a little microphone so it can talk with you? Got a little mic on here. Albania seems to be popping up lately. Albania, that's unusual. I hadn't considered Albania, but it's not warm enough. That's why I didn't. I like warm. Actually, it's too warm in here. Give me a moment. I'm going to open a door. Let some air in the room. Oh, whew. There's an AC unit. And this is a sunroom that I'm sitting on. You're looking east. The sun is behind you going down. And nice lighting, but it's warm in here because it's all glass. Albania's Muslim. Oh, yeah, no pass, hard pass. I don't want to stay in a Muslim country because I'm terrified of what could go seriously wrong there. And when you're a Christian, and I'm not a Christian. I don't go to church, but I mean, they would look at me and say, "Well, that guy's not Muslim," maybe. So I don't want to get into trouble there. Asley and I will be back together on the 29th. There's something to announce. I bought the tickets to go back. I bought the tickets already to go back to the Philippines. I got a great deal out of the blue, and I scooched it. So I'm flying back to the Philippines in October, and I got the tickets for $671, plus I had to pay an additional $235 to get a seat in bulkhead seat. So I have 4 feet of legroom because I'm 6.5 feet tall. I don't fit in regular row. I don't fit. So this way I got 4 feet of legroom. Nice. And it keeps losing the text on me. Why doesn't it just leave it up there? 6 months, you don't have to go to inside the country. You don't have to go outside the country for 24 hours to reset. Yeah, I don't. I wouldn't have to go outside the country in 6 months to reset anyway. DJ, you only have to leave the country every 3 years to reset, not 6 months. Yeah, not through China, thanks. No, I'm flying Calgary to Van to Manila on Philippine Airlines. Sometimes the monitors on the seats don't work and stuff. I don't care. It goes there, and it does it for a good price, and that's what matters to me. You had to, when you were there for 6 weeks, you had to leave the country? Why? You mean 6 months? Why did you have to leave the country and come back in? You can get extensions at immigration every 2 months, up to 3 years, unless they turn you down for some reason, but there's no reason to leave and come back. It's not a legality. 30 days. Well, no, here's the thing, DJ. At 30 days, you go to the immigration office and you ask for an extension. They give you an extension. This is standard stuff. They get it every day, a dozen times a day. Guys like you and I come walking in, and they ask for an extension on their visitor's visa, and they get it granted unless you have a problem. And you keep getting this every 2 months. You go in, and yeah, that's what I'm explaining that, DJ. Every 2 months after you get the initial extension, you go back in, they extend it again, they extend it again, they extend it again, they extend it again, and then after 3 years of extensions, you've run out, and they will tell you you must leave the country, and then you can come back. So yeah, you have to be out of the country for 24 hours, I think, or 48 hours, and the process starts over again. Yeah, modern day. Yeah, after his initial visitor's 30-day window runs out, he has to go in to get the first extension. Yeah. It's a simple thing, DJ. It's really simple. You just walk in, there's a little window, and they're very helpful, they're very nice, and you pay them some money. It's like 4,000 pesos a month you have to pay them now. Yeah, that's correct. DJ, read the text from Modern Day Drifter there. Chris is correct on that. So yeah, every 3 years you have to leave country, but there's no law that says you have to leave the country before that, unless you've done something bad or they ask you politely to leave. I had to show my itinerary for my trip out of the country before I left Canada. Yeah, you do have to do that. They want to know what hotel you're going to be in, roughly, and they want to know who you're seeing and that sort of thing. It's a little bit of overkill, but I found that I just tell them Hotel 101, and then I just show up and do whatever I want. They never come looking for you. So I never had an issue with that. Yeah, whenever you go over there, they'll ask you for that stuff. When you do the E thing 72 hours before you go, They need to have that information 72 hours before you fly over there. That's just to control bad people who are coming in that maybe they have to keep an eye on. They can come in, but they have something on their file that maybe they want to be put on a short list for, some reason to let them in for the 30 days. But, these guys are, something like that. So, but I've never had a problem. Except they didn't know. First time I went there, I said Hotel 101. And they said, well, there's no Hotel 101. And I said, really? Yes, there is. And they sent back and said, no, there really isn't. So I took a picture of the phone that says Hotel 101. I sent the photo back to him, and it had the address and everything on the phone sticker on the phone in the room, and never heard from him again. I guess he had to believe it then, So Hotel 101, yeah, near Asia Mall, near Mall of Asia. What's that? I just missed something. Is the 6-month thing for Philippines the police check? If you stay longer than 6 months, then you can't leave until the cops say you're good to go to avoid you leave after 6 months. Oh, okay. Yeah, I come back before the 6 months is up, just before. That's what I do that. Gold overflowing the top of the volcano. Saw in the video. What do you do for your extra exit ticket? Nothing. If you're there less than 6 months, you don't have to do anything. You don't have any fees. You just go through immigration on your way to security and then onto the waiting area to get on the flight. If you're there less than 6 months, if you're there over 6 months, I think you have to. Yeah, if you're there for more than 6 months, you have to go online to the government website. Just do a search, you can find it on Google it, and you have to let them know what day you're leaving. And over 6 months, there could be an additional exit fee, Yeah, that's right. The first time I was there, I was over by 2 days, and I had to pay this exit fee. That's right. I was lucky. They could have kept me off the flight. The guy was really pissed, but he said, go over to that window over there, pay that lady the money you owe us, and then come back. I said, okay. So he was nice to me because, I'm a senior, right? I just, went, huh? Duh. I just, I click, went to, tourist mode. Click, click, click. I don't know nothing. What? So he sent me over to pay the cashier for the additional days I was there. 2 days. Yeah, so yeah, you go even 1 day over, they'll nail you at the airport when you try to leave, and you'll have to pay. That's the best possible scenario. The worst possible scenario is they tell you you can't get on the flight because you haven't got this done. And then your plane leaves without you, and there's nothing you can do about it. So you better make sure if you're there for over 6 months, that you make sure you have an exit visa thing done via the government websites. And do a search for that. I don't have it in front of me right now because you guys are on my phone. I'd look for it, but you're on my phone. So, what else is going on? Yeah, I got that ticket. I'm happy I got it. The flight here, like I said in the video, the flight here was okay. Except for the announcement, coming into China, there are cameras everywhere and you will be watched. And if you do anything wrong, you will be punished. So I'm like, oh, yeah. It felt like I was landing in Moscow in 1986 or something. It was just strange, man. It was just strange. They did a lovely little welcoming message for their own people, and then they have this for us 3 knotheads that are on this flight from North America, rah, 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 don't even think about trying something. So yeah, I heard one guy say that one guy messaged me on that, and he said he flew to China 3 times for his work. I don't know what he did for a living. I didn't ask him, but he was there for work, a short-term contract. Every time he went there, he had a handler. In the hotel they put him in, he could not leave the floor of the hotel he was in. They put one guy at his door 24/7, another guy between the fire exits and the elevator and his room. So he could not, if he got past the first guy, he wasn't getting past the second guy. to get off the floor. He wasn't allowed to leave the floor of his hotel. He could order food in, he could do, but he had to stay in his room unless he was doing his work. But that got old fast. But I mean, he probably got paid really well too. But yeah, he had a handler. If they went anywhere at all, like to go to his work or whatever, he had a handler with him and then 24/7 babysat him and stuff. Yeah, strange. It was very strange. I don't know if I could deal with that in China. I don't think I'd like that at all. You know, I probably would have my own private escort as soon as I got off the plane and wouldn't see it, but there'd be one there. Oh, here goes okay. Now we're catching up on the text just finally showed up again, guys. Howdy, Bruce. Yes, Hotel 101 is on the stock market. It is actually a good hotel, man. It's a good chain. I can recommend it. I've never had a problem there. Modern Day says, hello, Bruce. Art Park Garden is here. I missed his video. I missed his thing. You can apply for a retirement 13A if you're married, or a SVVR, but it's a $30,000 downstroke unless you're military. 30,000 now, like holy moly, come on you guys, get real, that's crazy. But I mean, they don't want a whole bunch of people there that are broke. Yes, please hit the like button. Every country that you visit now has strict regulations before being allowed in. Yeah, they're getting touchy. Everybody is. If you're a senior, you must stay in Canada for longer than 6 months if you want to get your, yeah, you lose. You must stay in Canada for longer than 6 months a day, or you lose 20% of your pension. Actually, Art Park Garden, you lose your guaranteed income supplement. Poof, gone. You lose, depending on what country you're retired to, they may have a, what do they call it? A tax amnesty or something, the two countries, Canada and whomever. The Philippines has such a thing. If you're in the Philippines, I think you have to start, if you're there for more than 6 months, or you have an SVVR or whatever, you have to start paying, you have to pay the Canadian government 25% of your OAS. Your CPP is untouched. So your CPP is untouched and it's not taxed. Your OAS, they claw back 25%. You can apply with a form to have them stop doing that clawback if you can show that you have no other investments, no other finance, no other income stream in your retirement at all. Then you usually strike the taxation on the OAS, but your guaranteed income supplement, after 6 months, away from the country, and they know via your passport, when you scan it leaving the country, on that day, or the day after that day, your 6 months, your GIS stops being sent to your bank account, unless you return to Canada in time, and then you have to be back in Canada for 6 months. Tax treaty, thank you, Bruce. So yeah, you have to be in Canada for in excess of 184, so call it 185, 186 days, and then you can leave and go back and maintain your GIS. But your GIS is $800 a month, about, and if you're coming back to Canada to retain it, you're kind of not really winning there, because the cost to live in Canada for 6 months and the inconvenience of being here when you live in the Philippines for 6 months is, unless you got a sister to live with for free, 140% on 101. Oh, I can tell you guys, if you play crypto, if you play crypto or you're looking at crypto, maybe have a look at Dogecoin. Dogecoin has had a history of runs, and it's starting to go again now. So that's happening. I wish I had some money to invest. I don't. Maybe in a couple of months I might put some money into something, and then pull it out again when I fly. But as of right now, nada, nothing, nada, no. I wish I had some money. I would personally buy some Dogecoin. I'd buy $500 worth of Dogecoin. That shows you how much money I've got to throw away. If I had some money in the bank, I'd put in $500 of Dogecoin. It's at a 10 and a half or 11 cents right now per coin, 10 and a half or 11 cents. So it's a penny stock. It's a penny crypto, but it tends to pop up to 15 cents. So 50% return could happen anytime. And it's starting to do this, the bottom off. So it'll either go up and take off, or it'll go like this. You go cut and crash. Once you get enough suckers on board, anything can happen in crypto. If it's being manipulated, you won't know until it's too late. No, you're not taxed on the CPP. No. Well, you're taxed on the CPP to the degree you are, whether you're in Canada or not. But I mean, in the Philippines, there's no additional tax on it. It doesn't change. Like I get $630 a month, which is what I get in Canada too when I'm here. And it's what I was getting before I went over. So it hasn't changed much. They don't take any more when I'm out of country. The GIS, though, after 6 months, it's gone. So you have to return to Canada and stay here for 6 months. And your passport is the tattletale on that. So the passport will show when you return, the passport will show when you leave, and then the timer starts the next day. At midnight of the day you leave, at the following midnight, 6 months countdown. You get checks for 6 months and then they cut it off. When you return to Canada, if you don't return in the 6 months, then you have to reapply for your GIS over again. And by the time you get it, you're in Canada, right? You know how the government is here. You apply for your GIS online, do everything you should do, and then 6 months later, you get your first check just in time for you to fly back to the Philippines. But you get $800 a month, but you save more than $800 a month by not living here. So you lose the GIS, but you gain the inexpensive life in the Philippines, which is at least $800 a month in savings. I mean, my rent is $140 a month. You know, my phone is $10 a month. You know, a watermelon is $20 here in Canada now. In the Philippines, it's $2.50. You know, add it all up over a month, guys. It's in excess of $800 you're saving. So you're still money ahead to be over there than stuck here in Canada for 6 months. I can check on the CPP if you want me to, but I'm very sure that we don't have to worry about that when the dogs just came in. So don't sit on anything you're going to break. The landlady and landlord, Norm and Deanie's, they're doggies. How you doing, Jojo? Jojo's the older one. He behaves. 50 pesos a kilo. Wow. That is nice. Is that for watermelon, babe? Is that for watermelon? You're not talking about dried fish or something. Watermelon. Okay, yeah, watermelon. So we're probably going to cut this video off at 1 hour, guys. Because I'm kind of not feeling so hot right now. And because I can't get Asli on here until I sort out that technical thing with her channel being verified. So I don't know if she can get verified before she's monetized or not. I don't know. She may need 500 subs or something. I don't know. I'll find out. But I'm going to try and get her on here so you guys can talk to her better. If you have anything you want to ask Asli, do it now. Text it. She'll answer you in the text. And, do that. We may even, I'm thinking because there's so little going on right now. I don't want to talk about Canadian politics too much, that stuff, because a lot of people don't like to do that, and I don't blame them. So I don't want to really go there if I can avoid it. I'm going to release content probably in a couple of 3 days. I've been really busy at work, guys, so I'm sorry. The content will slow down while I'm here this summer, I'm afraid. Because do you live in Filipino Suite after 100 subs? Okay. Yeah, well, you should be able to get verified then, babe, because you got 266 or something. 350 pesos? Well, it depends on where you are, Surrey. It depends on where you are, man. maybe the retailer was a bit greedy too. But I mean, if you're too greedy in the Philippines, it sits on the shelf, right? Nobody will buy it. I don't know if I'd be happy about paying 350 pesos for a small watermelon, like a round watermelon, the size of a 10-pin bowling ball. 10-pin, not 5-pin, but the 10-pin ball, larger ball. They're about that big. They're not basketball sized, eh? They're smaller than basketball. Canadian watermelons are about the size of a basketball, whereas the Filipinos ones are the size of a soccer ball or something smaller like that. What's up with you, Joey? What's up with you? Oh, you. What's up with you? What's up with you? Where's Joey? This is Jesse. Jesse's on me. Oh, I won't show you Jesse right now. He's just a little white and red dog. And don't pee on my camera gear, Jesse. He got caught peeing in the house a little while back, and they were not. The landlady and landlord, they were not happy with their dog because he was peeing in the house. Yeah. So yeah, watermelons. Okay. Let's see. I'm a great except I wish now. Yeah. This is our situation right now. Asley would like to come and visit, and that's becoming more and more of a possibility. I guess, when you're 60 years old, there's less likelihood that you're going to do something contrived when you go overseas. They're worried about you not coming back and stuff. So, Dumaguete, 350 pesos because there's you and 2,500 other expats, man. That's why the prices are up. Dumaguete is its own microcosm of jacked rates for everything because there's so much money there in the white guys. Got it. So they charge more for rent, everything, I think. That's what I'm told. Dumaguete is a little expensive. Valencia is supposed to be a bit cheaper. It's up the road, but I don't know. I've never been there. I'm just going by hearsay that I've picked up from various people. I mean, you got the big players down there. You got Old Dog New Tricks, and you got Mike's Philippine Adventurer, whatever his name is, old fella. He just broke up with his lady fair, I guess. They had a big falling out, and he's kind of starting over again. Unfortunately, that's sad to hear, but things happen. Oh, come on. Here in San Pablo, it's 50 pesos per kilo, 3 kilos, 150 pesos. Yeah. Sorry, yeah, Kizon. Yeah, that's where you bought it from the guy who comes into our yard, Asley, or did you buy it from the market down in Cheong? Yeah, I think it depends on where you are. I imagine watermelon is pretty damn cheap if you go to a place where there is no money. Like they built a whole bunch of new commercial buildings near our place. In the last 3 years, all these new commercial buildings are going up next to the highway, and they sit pretty much abandoned. Nobody moves into them because they're too expensive. You can't make money off people that don't have any money. Hey, you guys, quit fighting in here. I'm trying to do TV. Two dogs are wrestling. Hello, Anna Magasso. Annie Magasso. Hello, welcome. We're just about done, but welcome. Asley could say hello there. You're the new subscriber. You're number 4,459. Watching Cube Van Life. Just like the show. Oh, I lost it. No, don't do that. Give me back. It fades the feed before I can read the message. This stupid thing. Watching, I didn't want to chime in and waste your time. I'll be in Okotoks shortly to rebuild my accountant's deck despite the cheap fuel prices. We went to Soria and Lucy with her family and some friends. Yeah, Cube Van Life. Yeah. I thought about getting an old motorhome and parking it up at the mall, because insurance is like, well, how much is insurance on a motorhome now? It's like or $500 a year. So I thought I'd buy a $2,000 motorhome that can still move under its own power. I don't care what it's like. If the roof doesn't leak, I'm happy, right? But it's a couple of $1,000. I just pay the rent and stay with my friends here. They're happy to have that cash. They like getting that money tax-free. So I'm happy to give it to them. Anyways, anybody else has anything they want to ask or ask Aslee? Check out Aslee's channel, people. She's got new content up, mostly shorts, so it's easy to digest. Quick and easy. I'm doing good, Annie Magasso. I'm Nelson. And Aslee is the other person you have here, but she's not online right now. Well, she's online, but she's not on video right now. And Magasso. Did you guys, are any of you guys, quit it, go outside. Stupid, hey, outside, go out. Yes, thank you. Jeez. We were thinking about building a house out of cordwood. Any of you guys have any experience with cordwood construction? Or what, you know what it is? It's building a wall for a house, anywhere from 12 inches to 18 inches thick, depending on where you live. Where we live would only need to be 12 inches, but if it's cold, 18, more insulation. You basically have cement, and then you take logs and you cut them into 3s and 5s and use them in the wall as bricks. So you have the cement down, and then you lay this wood in, and then you lay the cement over top of that, and you just back and forth. And you just go like this until you get, 8 or 9 feet up, and that's a part of your wall. And you go until the whole house is done. The trick in the Philippines is you need wood that is resistant to rot and insects. So that means hardwood. And basically, you're talking about something like mahogany. Imagine building a wall out of mahogany logs. Yeah. I guess it can be done, but it's, I'm looking at it, it seems like it would be about the same price as building with cinder block. But it's a lot more labor intensive, but it's the same, pretty much the same cost, I think, so far I've found. Have any of you guys ever worked on cordwood house or built cordwood house? Cube Van Life, have you ever played with a cordwood house building stuff? How long does someone have to watch before it's recorded as a view? I don't know. I think they're looking for people to watch beyond the 4 minutes, because that's when the second ad comes on. You have the ads before it opens, and then they run like 2, 3, 4 minutes. Sometimes mine goes 1 minute, 20 seconds, and boom, they throw in an ad. I don't control that. That's up to them. Their computers decide, judging from my people that are watching and what my content is, when it would be best to advertise, and their supercomputers decide to put in the ads wherever they do it. But I'm told like after 4 minutes, the second set of ads rolls by, and they count that as a view, basically. They count all of them as a view, but the longer you're engaged, the longer you stay on YouTube, that's what they want. You don't have to be engaged on my channel alone, but the longer you're on YouTube, like if you're on my channel and you watch 2 or 3 videos, they're gonna love me. They're gonna give me more exposure. But I mean, I don't expect you guys to sit there and spend an hour a day watching my content that you've already seen. So, yeah, there's Cube Van Life. Yeah, Listerine, mahogany it is pricey here in Canada. It's surprisingly inexpensive if you buy scrap wood from a furniture builder or something over there. If you buy some lumber he can't use because there's too many knots in it or something, and you buy all his scrap lumber so he doesn't have to burn it, you can take that home in a truck and you can use it. But it's got to be dried for a year, like on the ground for a year to dry it out before you use it, because shrinkage is a bitch. And then you have cracks in your wall. Leaving comments on the videos. Yeah, Listerine, if you leave a comment, a like, it does help the channel a lot. It does. It really does. It gives me a higher rating, and it makes more fresh faces that have never seen the channel get exposed to it. So the more the subscribers leave a like and a comment, any comment, nice vid, Nelson, something, it shows that you're engaged. And if you're engaged, YouTube will think other people may be as well engaged, because if you're engaged, you're watching the ads too. That's how they figure it. So yeah, if you leave a comment and you leave a like and you watch for like 4 minutes or something, it makes a huge difference. Like if I've got a 12-minute video and you watch for 4 minutes, that's great. If I've got a 6-minute video and you watch for 2 minutes, that's still the same percentage of the video, but they want to see more time, of course. So like, comment, and there's a hype button, I guess. I've never seen it. I have it there when I hype other people, but not myself. It doesn't show up on mine. But if you see the hype button, hit the hype button, and it gives me a little squirt of popularity, and it helps my video pop up there. So hit like, hit hype, and maybe leave a comment. Tell me I suck, or great video, or what the hell are you doing this for, Nelson? You know we don't like that. Dinah is waiting for me. She's staring at you from the mulberry bush. 1-inch praying mantis. It can hardly handle an ant. Yes, just leave a like or something. You ever watch your own videos after edit and put up? Your kids must watch what they think of Pop's videos. Yeah, one of my daughters, they don't really watch it that much. They're in their own world, you know, kids. She's 20-something, she has children, she's got her own thing going on. I have not, but in the PH, if I was looking at alternative building technique, I'd look at rammed earth using tire walls. I thought of rammed earth too. I saw it. I looked at that option too. It's labor intensive, and at our age, I can't imagine it being cheaper. Yeah, well, maybe not. I want to use something that I can, like Asley wants to use secondhand shipping containers. She wants to put 2 or 3 of those together and build a place out of that. And her logic is that adding doors and window space is simple. You just cut a hole in the wall, stick in your window, right? And that's basically true. You have to frame it and stuff with wood, but it's basically true. Building a greenhouse. Oh, no. If you can enjoy it, you know. I mean, a lot of people would say, like, I'm 63 and I'm riding around on a sport bike on my motorcycle as a 650 Kawasaki. And I just, you know, squit through traffic, and I'm 63. Probably because I take my testosterone, so I don't feel like I'm 63. Do I act 63? Do I sound 63? Mostly not 63. I am there, but but yeah, I feel very good for a guy who's 63. Usually I feel very good. I still like to have my 2 p.m. nap. Outside of that, I feel 35 all day, every day. I can climb up things, and I got lots of muscle strength still, and I don't feel like I'm slowing down at all at 63. Not really. A little, nothing serious. I would build a greenhouse. Asley would love a greenhouse. Grow tomatoes in there. I don't know how much of a hot house you need in the Philippines, but is this where Asley grew up? Asley grew up in Los Banos, which is a couple of towns up the road. And her family has a little property there. But the property is not in a good spot to retire in. It's in town, there's not a lot of airflow, and there's a lot of pollution because her house is right on the side of the provincial highway as it passes through town. So you have a lot of backed up traffic sitting out there in the afternoon, spewing exhaust into the houses. And her house is one of them. So I got her out of there for her own health. Storage containers would get super hot in the fills. Yeah, you have to have a roof over it, and you have to paint the roof white, and you have to paint the containers white, which helps with the heat quite a bit. You have to have an overhang so you don't have direct sunlight on the metal surface. You want to do that. But I mean, that's easy to do. You can throw a roof on there and just weld the roof bars, the spars, If any of you guys build in the Philippines, you know the houses have a roof. It's usually just a one-piece sloped roof, right? And what they have is they have the metal ribs instead of wood if they can afford them, and they weld the ribs to the cement. There's anchor points come out of the cement wall. They'll hold the roof on the freaking house if there's a typhoon, to make it stronger. Yeah, 66, 6'7", have a 1200 Yamaha 10-year. Well, I'm 63 and I'm 6'6", and I'm riding a 650. It's like having a little tiny go-kart or a little tiny, what do you call it, with a roller skate or something under me. You spend a week again at age 35, you would certainly know the difference between you and how you feel now. In fact, no, really. When I was 35 or 40 years old, I felt the same as I feel now, man. Like when I was 55, I felt like pure hell, and I went to the doctor and I convinced him to try this testosterone shot, and it was just the thing. I got like 90 minutes after I had the shot, my body had a little shiver, like, oh, what was that? Like a shiver run up my spine, and that was my body screaming out, going, yes. So ever since then, I've been taking this stuff, and it's been just roses. I don't know. Maybe I'm exaggerating. Maybe I would feel better when I was 35, but I don't think so. When I was 35, I was depressed and I sat around a lot and I didn't do much. Yeah, her place is convenient, but man, the pollution and stuff, and my concern about they built a storm drain like 8 feet high and 4 feet across adjacent to her house, and there's already a creek there. So this creek is a storm runoff from water falling on the mountain behind the town, and the runoff goes down several creeks, and the one that runs past her house is one of them, and sometimes it would get so bad that it would back up onto the property and they'd start flooding. Now with the extra storm sewer in there, I'm really kind of freaked out about that happening on a regular basis, because now there's double the water flow through her front yard, basically. So I'm concerned about that. We'll see what happens. Yeah, it's a 7-minute walk to the main road. If I have a heart attack, I got a 50-50 chance of getting to the clinic, because we got a nice shiny new clinic right close to the house. They'll roll me in there. Yeah, no air pollution where we are, not really, unless they're burning plastics outside or something. Sometimes they burn their garbage, and then we have stink, depending on the way the wind is blowing. Yeah. Okay, let's see. Well, I don't know what else to tell you, fellas. The sun is starting to kind of go down outside. We have a little more time, I think, but we'll have to see about wrapping it up soon. Yeah, you were talking to me, Listerine 414, storage containers. I like the idea because you have a lot of ways you can make a U shape, you can stack them, you can have one standing on its butt, whatever you want to do. You can walk around on top, so building a balcony up on the top is not a problem. You can build right on top of them and stand on them. It's not a problem. So there's that. They're strong. If you nail them down, cable them down to a cement that's anchored in the ground, there's no typhoon that will take them and flip them over. They'll be the safest place in a typhoon, just locked up in that metal can, Go to Dumaguete, man, Valencia, nice up in the hills. I wouldn't mind, but I don't know if Asley wants to move that far from her family. We talked about it. She's okay maybe moving to Mindoro Island, which is the adjacent island to Batangas, Luzon here, so it's pretty close. And we've thought about doing that. Mindoro is pretty nice. It's pretty nice, but there's not a lot of big hospitals in Mindoro. So if you get into trouble, you have a heart attack or something, it's like, woo boy, I don't know. You maybe want to have a portable defibrillator at home and a wife that knows how to use it. Yeah, they burn scraps, and they rake up the grasses and stuff and burn. But whatever it is, it's just the smoke comes into the house because we have the windows open. That's our cooling. Yeah, Dumageddon. I don't know if the Cebuano or Busayan is the native language down that far south in Dumageddon. Is anybody there in Dumageddon that knows that could tell us? Is there a lot of Tagalog spoken down in Dumaguete? Yeah, I don't know. But I do know, I mean, I hope you guys watch the show and, leave a like, a comment. If you win the lottery, throw me a shekel if you don't mind. If you win the lottery, leave me $5. All the monies go towards Asley getting the little property, and I want to leave her. I want to make sure she has something to have to give to her kids, so to help the family get break out of a little bit of poverty, if they can. Her family are hardworking people. They all work. It's not like they're in Tondo or someplace bad. It's not like that. It's not like that. It's just that it's hard in the Philippines. And it doesn't get easier. So if she can leave a little property to her kids, she'd like that, and I'd like to leave her that option. So that's why I'm doing the channel. And that's what I'm going to continue to do until I get her a little plot of land. From this and other things that I may or may not try to get going in the future. Yeah. I have some medical training. I haven't told anybody in the village, though, because I see the problem is if I tell somebody I have medical training in the village, and then they come running for me when there's no doctor, and I have to go and work on somebody. And if I get it wrong, what's wrong with them? I could kill them, and then, or court could say I did the wrong thing. You know what I mean? It could get very bad for me if I accidentally screw things up for somebody who's actually in bad shape. But as far as chest compressions and stuff go, I'm thinking about teaching people in the village how to do chest compressions, CPR, basic CPR. So I was thinking about actually doing that, but I'm not sure if I legally have the right to do that or not, if that's something that they should be doing at the barangay office or something. But yeah, defibrillator I think is a good idea. I mean, if a person had a heart attack and they're down and their heart's not pumping and you can't get them going with a heart massage or, compressions, they're dead. You better get the defibrillator out and try to pop them. Try and get them going, even a radio pulse, just to keep them alive till the ambulance can show up. So I did too. I bought my ticket, man. It said, "This appears to be a non-winner. We're sorry." Yeah. I got one for tonight too. We'll see. 70 million bucks. Or was it the Lotto Max on Friday? Yeah, maybe the Lotto Max was the 37, or was that the 70 million? They do that in Philippines. They've got a weekly draw, millions and millions of pesos. But I don't enter that, because if I won, it would be extremely bad. 70 million. So I missed the good one. I don't think anybody won, though. I didn't hear anything about it. So maybe it's gone on. Now it'll be 80 million next week. My family lives in the first district town. A little expensive living there compared to here. Yeah, it is. They inherited the land from their parents and the buildings. They're on the land. So when she was a little girl, she can tell you herself, but not on text. It was a whole different place back then. Like behind her place was just a field with trees, and the kids would run out there and play. And now it's full of houses. It's all cement houses and businesses, and you got to go quite a ways back to get to the greens again. I've gotten to them. I went for a walk one day with my camera, went down the street to a side street, followed the side street. I kept going till I hit the train tracks, crossed the train tracks. The road ended onto a footpath, followed the footpath till it ended. I walked like 3 or 4 miles, and then I turned around and I came back. But you should have seen look at everybody's faces way back in the bush back there, and I'm taking snapshots of stuff, and they're like, "What's he doing?" So yeah, that was fun. Yeah, so Canadian government gets 65 mil. Yeah, just about. If I won that 70 million bucks, I would slam as much of it as I could into my TFSA and my RRSPs. I would max them out. Then I would take the rest of the money and I'd slam it right into treasury bonds or Canadian bonds or treasury notes. Something pays 5%, and I would take as much away from the tax man as humanly possible. Because you don't pay taxes on your investments until you realize them. They're trying to change that. They're trying to make you pay a tax in advance of your profitability. But they're finding difficult to do that. But when you actually sell your positions, that year's taxes, you have to pay your capital gains. So, yeah. Somebody won 4 winners. 44, 4 winners had 6 out of 7 won 4,400s. I would love 4,400 bucks, man. If you don't need it, you can send it to me. Our lottery tax-free anyway. Yeah, it is the first year, but once the money's in your bank account, the next year, then they get you. The first year, it's a gift, it's a winning. You don't pay the first year. The trick is the second year. Then they start calling it earned income because you're making money off of the money you have in the bank. You're getting interest. And even though the bank only pays like 2% a year, you're still making 2% of 70 million bucks. So there's taxes there to be paid. God. Yeah, I wish I could win the lottery. That would solve a lot of my problems, let me tell you. I mean, I'm doing everything else. Fate told me, okay, well, you're divorced. No, don't jump off an overpass. Don't hang yourself. Don't do any of these things. Put yourself an ad in this thing. Remember you wanted to go to the Philippines? Just I was running on autopilot the whole time. And then everything just fell into place. Click, 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 like tumblers in a lock. And then the door opened. And I went through it. No problem, no regrets. Yeah, no issues. Yeah, the interest is taxed, Bruce, yeah. That's why I was saying the second year they whack you on the money you make from the money. You read how dangerous this AI could be. Creating it, yeah, it could be dangerous. I did a couple of videos on it. Every time I posted an AI video, my channel got suddenly so few views on all my videos. All my content went straight. If you say anything bad about AI on YouTube, they automatically slow down your channel. Just don't do it. So I'm not touching it again. Maximum Canadian pension CPP is only 1,400. Why is this? CPP is not 1,400. CPP is about 800 max. Here's the thing. In Canada, there are 3 separate government pensions. One is CPP. That's about 800. One is old age pension, OAS, old age subsidy. Old age subsidy, I think that's it. OAS or OHP, something, there's 3 of them. 2 federal, 1 provincial. So you got CPP, federal. You got OAS, federal, which is another, what is it, $400 or something, you guys? $800? And there's GIS in Alberta. I don't know what they call it outside of Alberta. In Alberta, they have guaranteed income supplement. If you under a certain amount of earnings at 65 and older, if you're under a certain number, they give you this top up to help you. So that's how it works in Canada. There's 3 of them. It's a pain in the arse. Yeah. CPP is not 14. CPP is about, my CPP after taxes is 630 bucks a month. Not quite enough to live on in the Philippines. Plus I've got credit card debt I have to knock down. That's why I'm here. If I didn't have the credit card problem and I was able to make $250 a month on the channel, which isn't happening either. Right now I'm making about 40 bucks a month on the channel. 40 bucks, that's it. It's hard to do content in the Philippines when you're not in the Philippines. So, yeah, 2,100 is about right for the 3 of them. Yeah. Yeah, old age security. Thank you, Bruce. GIS is also federal. Which one's the provincial? I thought one of them was provincial, Bruce. Maybe I'm on my off my meds or something. But anyway, okay, guys, I'm gonna shut it down at the hour and a half mark here. Call it a night. I got to get to bed around 9. I have to be up at 5 a.m. to go to see Mother tomorrow for Mother's Day. And I got to go for a 2.5-hour bike ride to do that. So if you have any other questions, comments for me or Asli, please, now's the time, guys. If you leave Canada tomorrow with enough cash never allowed to return, would you stay in the Philippines the rest of your life? Listerine 414, 100% I would go. There is nothing to keep me here in Canada. There's no quality of life. I have family, but I can see them on vacations back to Canada. There's nothing to keep me here. I have no interest in retiring in Canada. Even if I had enough money, I still would not retire in Canada. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't stay here. I'm not interested in this. This is not my topography, man. I love the Philippines. It's just something about it. I love to be there. Canada's okay. There's nothing wrong with it intrinsically. I'm not crapping on Canada. I'm just saying that for me, there are better options. So everyone's different. I'm a Hemingway. I'm a Bukowski. I almost bought a sailboat and buggered off from Florida, to sail around the Caribbean. I was going to do that, but I ended up in the Philippines. So, I'm glad, because I wouldn't want to be drowning out there in some hurricane off the coast of Cuba somewhere or something. Oh, Donald just arrived. I'm sorry, Donald. Yeah. The Alberta one only applies if you get OAS GIS. Oh, okay. Well, I will get OAS GIS, but only for 6 months. I'm going to apply for GIS. I have to come back here to do it. I will apply for it. And then once I've applied for it and it's accepted, well, actually, once I apply for it, I'm going straight back to the Philippines. They will do the request and they will handle it the way they think is best. I'm thinking they'll still give me 6 months. I don't know. I'm not disloyal to the king. I'm not disloyal to the king at all. I just, would you stay with an ugly girl or do you stay with a pretty girl? Both girls are equally nice, but one girl has got something going for her that the other girl just doesn't have. So I like the Philippines. Yeah, say hello to Johanna for us, Donald. Did you get your power back, sir? He was without power for a while. Did he get his power? I wonder if he got his electricity back, Donald. Will you guys stop that? Dogs are barking outside. Okay. Nighty, everybody. I guess I'm going to say good evening and call it a show. I hope I have something to talk to you about next week. I confess, I have challenges here coming up with things to talk about. I don't like to go to politics and stuff too much. So that in Canada is politics right now. So I don't really want to get on that too much. Politics, I think, is kind of a waste of time. No matter who you vote for, they seem to get corrupted, or they get a meeting with somebody or something and they change their mind about their promises. Something always happens. Hemingway Islands in the Sea. Yeah, I can do Bukowski. Ham on Rye is a great book. I just like to read his poetry. I haven't gotten into his short stories yet, but I like his poetry. There's a lot of poetry that Bukowski does that gruff, tough old guys, we hide the soft inside, right? We keep it. There's a lot of armor because our life has caused us to grow armor. You know what I mean. And Bukowski has the kind of poetry that appeals to men who are locked up in their armor. Yeah, so it's not baby girl poetry. It's not at all. What was that? The line that said, "Oh, all lovers betray." Something like that, and something he was writing. He was seeing a prostitute. She was living with him, and they used to have these metaphysical talks about relationships and stuff late at night. And they were both drunk and skunks and high as a kite on a pot or whatever. And he would write a book about what they were talking about, or a poetry about what they were talking about. So okay, Bukowski. Yeah, never with strangers. They may have especially in the States. There's one thing I will say about the United States that I do like, and it is true. They say an armed society generally is a polite society, for reasons which we need not go into here. So, people get a little bit of road rage, but other than that, usually the iron stays where it should be unless there's a serious need for it to be out. All right, nighty-night, everybody, and have a great evening. And in Buddhism, yeah, he was a Buddhist. Yeah, he was your typical ironclad with a heart of gold. That's who he was. He couldn't believe how people were thronging to him in his old age when he suddenly finally became famous with the counterculture movement and stuff, carrying him into the 70s. And he did all right. He ended up having a nice house. He had a Mercedes. He was betting on the horses every weekend. He could afford all the beer he wanted. He lived good in his old age. He was all right. He made it. So, okay. Good night, everybody. Good night, Herb. Good night, Esley. Good night, Listerine. Good night, Bruce. Good night, Modern Day. Good night, Listerine 414. Donald. And who else we got here? Cube Van Life. Bruce. I think I messed Bruce. Meta Furman. She may be gone already. And Alia. Okay. Love you guys. Thank you for coming. Please remember, if you see Asley's videos, go to her channel, and if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. And if you're not subscribed, check out her channel. She has a lot of these shorts with her new best friend. Check it out. Okay. Love you guys. Thank you for coming. We really appreciate your time that you give us, and thank you for showing up. That's it. That's all for now. I'm Nelson, and this is Asley. Thanks, sorry, and we'll see you next week on South Paths. Okay. Thanks, guys. Have a good night. Bye for now. Oh, Bruce. Okay.